Hello, and welcome to another B&T unboxing video. Today we're going to take a walkthrough on how to dismantle an N64 controller. We were starting with the blue controller today, and we have 9 screws in the back to remove, 7 on the body, 2 in the expansion slot. The 2 in this expansion slot are a little bit smaller and longer screws, so you really can't mix them up, but everything on the main body of the controller are the same size. The screw I'm using is a Phillips PH0 that has been the most effective for me to remove the screws, and I have a magnetic tray to put them all in, so keep track of everything. So let's get started. If we sand it up, we can see the 7 screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down here in the shadows, and there's 2 down here. Here we go. Then we just dump them out. A few of them didn't want to come out. Yep, there we go. Alright, and then the last 2 are down here. These are the most tricky screws to get back in just because of how deep the expansion port is. So it may take a little trial and error to get them to line back up, but they're not too hard. There we go. And we'll put these also in a tray. Alright, and that's the entire screw removal process. They open up, you just lift up, and now we are into the controller. We'll go over a few pieces. This is your Z button, this is your joystick, and this is the connector for the joystick. Joystick is held in by 3 screws. Your L and R, or R and L, since it's upside down, they're just sitting there. There's no nothing holding them in. They're just these little pins that line up with the grooves on both the back and top piece so they can click. This is the button for it, and the membrane can come off, but you just line it back up. It's no big deal. One thing to keep note of, if we can line it up right, is the position of this cable. If you don't put it back in that location, you will not be able to close the lid or the back cover back on it. So that's kind of how you dismantle it. The board itself is not screwed down, so if you need to take this board out, you just undo this hook, this connector, and the whole thing just slides up. I could do it now. So you want to pull out your R and L buttons, and then we want to unhook the joystick controller. There we go. And then the Z button is in these little plastic clips on the joystick. You just kind of spread one apart and you can lift it up, and so that's free. Move the cable around, and you can move this cable out of the way. You just lift it up. Let's see what's catching. I think the joystick may be in the way. Nope, there we go. And you just lift it up, and that's your controller. Here's your membrane for the start button, the D-pad, A, B, and C buttons. We'll take a quick look at them. Even though I cleaned this controller, it's still a little dirty. This is your D-pad, one giant piece. There's a notch, so you know how to line it up. right there. Oops. See, can I get on camera? Yeah, so there's this notch right here. That's how you know you put it in the right spot. And then the black part of the membrane faces towards you when you're reassembling it. Over here is your A, B, and C buttons. And if you look, all the buttons have notches in different locations. So they're supposed to only go in one position, but I've gotten them to go in the wrong position just by like it didn't line up right, but it fell in slots, so it kind of closed up. But these two can get swapped around a little bit, but not. I think it was one of these two. I forget which one I got mixed up, but it didn't fit right. I just kind of was in a rush and closed it up. But if you follow the notch, the big notch and the two small notches, you'll have no problems putting it back. And yeah, that's it. Right now I'm going to remove the joystick, and then we'll put the board back on. Joystick screws are a little bit smaller, so a PH00 bit would probably be better, but this is what I got right now. Alright, and to put the circuit board back in, first you gotta put your membrane back. Circuit board in. And there's little plastic divots, I guess you want to call it, to guide you, guideposts. L and R. These ways, this side of the controller has the longer, you can see it, longer nub. So you had the shorter side facing up. Took me a little bit to figure that one out, because I was getting everything mixed up because it's upside down. And then you route the cable accordingly. And that's it. And if you're going to put it back on, you put the joystick back in, screw it back in, plug the connector, snap this on top, close it up, screw it all together, and you've now dismantled and reassembled an N64 controller. Thank you for watching, and have a good night. Bye-bye.